In the year 2147, Earth was a planet transformed. Technological advancements had reshaped cities. Space travel was as routine as air travel once was, and humanity had colonies on Mars and the moons of Jupiter. Yet, even in this age of progress, there were still mysteries from the past waiting to be uncovered. Dr. Elena Rodriguez, a renowned archaeologist specializing in pre-space-era artifacts, led an expedition into a recently uncovered subterranean complex, deep in what was once the Amazon rainforest. Climate change and deforestation had drastically altered the landscape, revealing hidden remnants of ancient civilizations. Her team of experts, equipped with advanced scanning technology, had been mapping the area for months. One humid afternoon, as the team carefully excavated a particularly promising site, Dr. Rodriguez's assistant, Marcus, unearthed something unexpected. It was a rusted, centuries-old firearm, buried deep beneath layers of earth and vegetation. The gun, a relic from humanity's early 21st century, was remarkably well preserved given its age. Dr. Rodriguez knelt beside Marcus, her heart pounding with excitement. "Incredible," she whispered, gently brushing away the dirt from the artifact. The gun's design was simple but efficient, a stark reminder of a time when humanity's conflicts were fought with bullets and gunpowder. Back at their temporary base camp, the team carefully documented and analyzed the find. The firearm, a standard issue for military and law enforcement personnel of its time, had a serial number still faintly visible. This could provide crucial information about its origin and history. As night fell, Dr. Rodriguez sat by the flickering light of her datapad, inputting details of the discovery. She knew this was a significant find, not just because of the gun itself, but because of what it represented. It was a tangible link to humanity's past, a past that was often overshadowed by the rapid advancements of the present. The next morning, Dr. Rodriguez was reviewing the data when her communication device chimed. It was an urgent message from the United Earth Defense Force, UEDF, the primary military organization tasked with defending Earth and its colonies. They had intercepted communications indicating that the Zentari, one of the most advanced alien civilizations known to humanity, had expressed an unusual interest in the artifact. Dr. Rodriguez's brow furrowed in confusion. The Zentari, tall and elegant beings with shimmering blue skin and intricate facial tattoos, were known for their superior technology and often looked down on humanity's comparatively primitive advancements. Why would they care about an ancient, rusty firearm? Later that day, a UEDF transport vessel arrived at the dig site. Captain Jarek Thorne, a seasoned officer known for his no-nonsense attitude, stepped out, his expression as inscrutable as ever. He was accompanied by a contingent of soldiers and scientists, all there to ensure the safe transfer of the artifact to the Zentari delegation. Dr. Rodriguez and Captain Thorne exchanged formal greetings. "Captain, why are the Zentari interested in this?" she asked, holding up the old firearm. Thorne shrugged. "They're not saying much, just that it's important. My orders are to secure the artifact and ensure it gets to them without incident." Reluctantly, Dr. Rodriguez handed over the gun. She watched as it was carefully packed into a secure container and loaded onto the transport vessel. "I hope we find out why this is so important," she murmured to herself. As the transport vessel lifted off, carrying the ancient firearm to its next destination, Dr. Rodriguez couldn't shake the feeling that this discovery was just the beginning of something much larger. Unbeknownst to her, the humble relic held a secret that would soon thrust humanity and the Zentari into an unexpected alliance, one that would shape the future of both civilizations. Captain Jarek Thorne watched as the transport vessel, containing the ancient firearm, disappeared into the sky. He turned to Dr. Elena Rodriguez, his face a mask of professional curiosity. "The Zentari's interest in this gun is peculiar," he admitted, his voice edged with skepticism. The transport vessel journeyed through space, docking with a Zentari star cruiser orbiting Earth. The Zentari, renowned for their technological prowess, had long been both allies and condescending mentors to humanity. Their sleek ships and advanced weaponry were symbols of their superiority. Ambassador Zilara, the Zentari envoy to Earth, awaited the arrival of the artifact. Tall and elegant, her blue skin shimmered under the artificial lighting, and the tattoos on her face and arms seemed to tell a story of her prestigious lineage. She stood with a group of Zentari scientists, their eyes gleaming with a mix of amusement and curiosity. When the container was finally opened, revealing the rusted firearm, Zilara's lip curled in a slight smirk. "This is the great weapon of the past?" she asked, her voice melodious yet tinged with condescension. The scientists around her chuckled, clearly unimpressed by the archaic device. One of the scientists, a tall Zentari named Dr. Trell, picked up the gun delicately with a gloved hand. "Such primitive technology," he remarked, turning the firearm over to examine it closely. "How did humans ever survive with these?" Captain Thorne and Dr. Rodriguez, who had been invited to witness the exchange, stood nearby, their expressions guarded. Dr. Rodriguez stepped forward, unable to hide her irritation. "This gun represents a significant period in our history. It's a symbol of our resilience and ingenuity." Zilara's amusement did not fade. "Perhaps, but from our perspective, it is merely a relic. Yet our analysts have detected something intriguing about its design." The Zentari scientists began their analysis, utilizing advanced scanning equipment that far surpassed human technology. Holographic displays flickered to life, showing intricate diagrams and data streams. The gun's internal mechanisms, simple yet efficient, were laid bare for all to see. As the analysis progressed, the Zentari's amusement turned to astonishment. Dr. Trell's eyes widened and he turned to Zilara. "Ambassador, you must see this. The projectiles used in this firearm, though primitive, have a unique kinetic energy output that we have not encountered before." Zilara's expression shifted from condescension to serious interest. "Explain." Dr. Trell manipulated the holographic display, zooming in on the composition of the bullets. "The design is simple, but it harnesses kinetic energy in a way that could be revolutionary when combined with our technology. It's a concept we have never considered because we have always relied on energy-based weapons." Captain Thorne and Dr. Rodriguez exchanged glances, their curiosity piqued. Thorne stepped forward. "What are you saying, Dr. Trell?" The Zentari scientist looked at him, a hint of respect in his eyes. "I'm saying that this ancient human firearm might hold the key to a new form of weaponry, one that could potentially be adapted to bypass certain energy-based defenses that we currently face." Dr. Rodriguez's mind raced. "Are you suggesting that our old technology could be combined with yours to create something entirely new?" Zilara nodded thoughtfully. "It appears so. This discovery is far more valuable than we initially thought." Thorne's military instincts kicked in. "What exactly are you facing that makes this technology so crucial?" Zilara hesitated for a moment before speaking. "There is an unknown alien species that has begun attacking our outlying colonies. Their technology is advanced, and our energy-based weapons have proven ineffective against their defenses. This firearm's projectiles, when modified with our advancements, might be able to penetrate their shields." The room fell silent as the gravity of the situation sank in. Humanity's past had unexpectedly become the key to a potential future alliance. Dr. Rodriguez and Captain Thorne realized that this discovery could change the course of interstellar relations, and, perhaps, the fate of both their species. Zilara turned to Thorne and Rodriguez, her tone now respectful. "We propose an alliance. Humanity will provide us with these ancient firearms, and we will modify them with our technology. Together we might stand a chance against this new threat." Thorne nodded slowly. "It seems we have a lot to discuss. Let's get started." Aboard the Zentari star cruiser, the atmosphere had shifted from one of mild curiosity to intense focus. Ambassador Zilara convened a meeting with her top scientists and military strategists to address the dire situation facing their outlying colonies. The ancient human firearm, once a source of amusement, had become a critical piece in their defense strategy. Zilara's chamber, adorned with luminescent patterns and advanced holographic displays, served as the meeting room. Dr. Trell stood at the center, manipulating the holographic interface to show detailed scans and projections of the firearm's capabilities. Surrounding him were Zentari officials and a handful of human representatives, including Captain Yarrick Thorne and Dr. Elena Rodriguez. The unknown alien species, Dr. Trell began, has demonstrated an ability to repel our most advanced energy-based weaponry. Their shielding technology is unlike anything we have encountered. However, the kinetic projectiles from this ancient firearm have a unique energy distribution that could potentially bypass their defenses. A murmur of concern and interest filled the room. Zilara raised her hand for silence. Explain how these primitive projectiles can succeed where our advanced weapons have failed. Dr. Trell nodded and zoomed in on a holographic representation of the bullet's composition. The key lies in the simplicity of the projectile. Our energy weapons are sophisticated, but predictable. The alien shields are designed to counteract energy patterns. These kinetic projectiles, however, exert physical force that the shields are not optimized to counter. When we enhance these bullets with our technology, increasing their velocity and penetration power, they can become a formidable weapon. Captain Thorne leaned forward, his military mind already calculating the implications. What do you need from us? Dr. Trell responded without hesitation. We need more of these firearms and their ammunition. Additionally, we will require your expertise in understanding the manufacturing process to replicate and improve upon it. With our technology, we can enhance the production efficiency and effectiveness of these weapons. Dr. Rodriguez couldn't help but interject. You're talking about mass production. This will require significant resources and cooperation on both sides. Zilara nodded. Indeed, but we are facing an existential threat. Our colonies are being decimated, and if this invasion continues unchecked, it will not be long before they reach the core of our civilization, and yours as well. The gravity of the situation was clear to everyone present. Thorne turned to Rodriguez. We need to contact the UEDF and get their support. This is bigger than any single artifact or dig site. This is about survival. Within hours, messages were sent to the United Earth Defense Force headquarters. The urgency of the situation accelerated the usual bureaucratic processes. High-ranking officials convened an emergency session, reviewing the data transmitted by the Zentari. The decision was unanimous. Earth would provide the necessary resources and expertise to aid in the production of the modified firearms. Back on the Star Cruiser, Zilara and her team began integrating the ancient firearm technology with their own. The Zentari's advanced fabrication techniques allowed them to produce prototypes at a rapid pace. These new weapons, though still in the testing phase, showed remarkable promise. Dr. Trell conducted a demonstration in the ship's testing chamber. A holographic representation of the alien invaders' shield technology was projected, and a series of modified bullets were fired at it. The projectiles penetrated the shields effortlessly, striking the targets beyond with devastating precision. Captain Thorne watched with a mixture of awe and determination. This might just work, he said, turning to Zilara. But we need to ensure that every soldier, both Zentari and human, is trained to use these weapons effectively. Zilara agreed. We will begin joint training sessions immediately. Time is of the essence. As preparations for mass production and training ramped up, the Zentari scientists continued to refine the weapon design. The collaboration between human and Zentari engineers led to innovations that neither species could have achieved alone. New alloys, improved propulsion mechanisms, and advanced targeting systems were integrated into the firearms, making them far more potent than their ancient predecessors. Meanwhile, reports from the front lines painted a grim picture. The unknown alien invaders, relentless and merciless, had pushed deeper into Zentari territory. Colonies were falling, and the urgency of deploying the new weapons grew with each passing day. The first shipment of modified firearms was sent to the besieged Zentari colonies, accompanied by a contingent of UEDF soldiers led by Captain Thorne. These soldiers, trained in the use of the enhanced weapons, represented the first wave of a new defense strategy. Dr. Rodriguez, although primarily an archaeologist, joined the mission as an advisor, her knowledge of the weapon's origins proving invaluable in the field. As the transport vessel carrying the precious cargo and troops departed, hope flickered in the hearts of both human and Zentari alike. The alliance forged by necessity now faced its ultimate test. The ancient human firearm, a symbol of past conflicts, had become the key to a future of cooperation and survival. The Centauri star cruiser, now a hive of frenetic activity, orbited above one of their besieged colonies. The newly modified firearms were being distributed to both Centauri soldiers and UEDF troops, each one calibrated to maximize its kinetic potential. Captain Yarrick Thorne stood in the ship's armory, overseeing the final preparations. Beside him, Dr. Elena Rodriguez marveled at the transformation of the ancient relics into cutting-edge weaponry. "This is incredible," Rodriguez said, inspecting one of the enhanced guns. "Who would have thought that such a simple device could become so pivotal?" Thorne nodded, his eyes hard with determination. "Desperation drives innovation. Let's just hope it works when it counts." Ambassador Silara entered the armory, her usually serene face showing signs of strain. "Captain Thorne, Dr. Rodriguez, our scouts report that the enemy is closing in on our position. We need to deploy these weapons immediately." Thorne straightened. "Understood. We'll be ready." Outside, the planet's surface was a scene of devastation. The once thriving Centauri colony lay in ruins, its elegant spires reduced to rubble. Alien invaders, hulking and insectoid in appearance, moved with eerie coordination. Their shields, shimmering with a strange energy, repelled all traditional Centauri attacks. The situation was dire. On the ground, Centauri soldiers and human troops worked side by side, finalizing their preparations. Thorne's voice crackled over the comms, issuing orders. "All units prepare to engage. Focus on coordinated strikes with the new weapons. We'll show these invaders that we're not so easily defeated." The first wave of enemy forces approached, their alien cries echoing through the desolate landscape. Centauri and human soldiers took their positions, modified firearms at the ready. The tension was palpable as the invaders closed the distance. "Fire!" Thorne commanded. The modified guns roared to life, their enhanced projectiles streaking towards the alien shields. To the soldiers' amazement, the bullets pierced through the energy barriers with ease, striking the invaders with devastating accuracy. Alien bodies fell, their once impenetrable defenses rendered useless. A cheer went up from the combined forces. Thorne's voice, filled with grim satisfaction, came over the comms again. "Keep pushing. We have them on the run." Dr. Rodriguez watched from a safe distance, her heart pounding. This unexpected revelation, that humanity's ancient technology could turn the tide of an interstellar war, was both thrilling and sobering. The past had given them a fighting chance, but the battle was far from over. As the day wore on, the tide of battle shifted in favor of the defenders. The invaders, unprepared for the ferocity and effectiveness of the modified firearms, began to retreat. Thorne led his troops with relentless determination, his strategic mind exploiting every weakness in the enemy's formation. Amid the chaos, Dr. Rodriguez noticed something strange. The invaders' technology, particularly their shields, seemed familiar. She accessed her datapad, cross-referencing the shield frequencies with historical records. Her eyes widened as the realization dawned on her. "Thorne, I need to speak with you immediately," she said over the comms, urgency in her voice. Thorne found a moment to break away from the front lines and met Rodriguez in a makeshift command center. "What is it, Doctor?" Rodriguez showed him the data on her screen. "The energy signatures of the invaders' shields. I've seen them before. They're strikingly similar to ancient Earth technology, specifically from a rogue human faction that vanished centuries ago. It's possible these invaders are using stolen or adapted human tech." Thorne's expression hardened. "You're saying these aliens might have a connection to our own history?" Rodriguez nodded. "It's a possibility we can't ignore. If they have access to old Earth technology, it might explain why our ancient firearms are so effective against them." Zilara, who had been listening intently, interjected. "This revelation could change everything. We must investigate this connection further. It might provide us with a strategic advantage." The immediate threat on the battlefield was receding, but a new layer of mystery had been uncovered. The Alliance now faced the daunting task of not only defending their territories, but also unraveling the secrets of these invaders and their ties to Earth's past. That night, As the soldiers rested and tended to their wounds, Thorne, Rodriguez, and Zilara convened to discuss their next steps. The modified firearms had proven their worth, but the question of the invaders' origins loomed large. "We need to capture one of their commanders," Thorne said. "If there's any connection to old Earth technology, they might have the answers we need." Zilara agreed. "And we need to keep improving our weapons. This battle was just the beginning." As plans were laid for the next phase of their defense and investigation, the alliance between humanity and the Zentari grew stronger. The ancient firearm, once a symbol of humanity's violent past, had become a beacon of hope and ingenuity. Together, they would face the challenges ahead, armed with the knowledge that even the simplest of tools could hold the key to their survival. The victory on the Zentari colony was a turning point, but the alliance between humanity and the Zentari knew the fight was far from over. The mysterious alien invaders had retreated, but their presence and their connection to ancient Earth technology posed a threat that could not be ignored. Captain Yarick Thorne, Dr. Elena Rodriguez, and Ambassador Zilara quickly set into motion plans to capture one of the invader commanders to learn more about their origins and strategies. In the days that followed, joint training sessions commenced. Human soldiers and Zentari warriors worked side by side, learning to operate the modified firearms effectively. The training camps buzzed with activity, the air filled with the sounds of drills and gunfire. Thorne oversaw the sessions, his stern but encouraging presence motivating both human and Zentari trainees. Thorne addressed a group of soldiers one morning, his voice carrying over the din of the camp. "Remember, these weapons are the product of our combined ingenuity. Use them well, and we'll have the edge we need to protect our homes and families." Dr. Rodriguez spent her days in the research labs, working closely with Zentari scientists to further enhance the firearms. Their collaboration led to breakthroughs in materials, science, and ballistics, making the weapons even more effective. The project had evolved from a desperate measure to a symbol of what humanity and the Zentari could achieve together. One evening, as the sun set over the camp, Rodriguez received a message from a remote outpost. A Zentari scout had reported sighting an enemy commander near a recently abandoned colony. The opportunity they had been waiting for had arrived. Thorne, Rodriguez, and Zilara convened to discuss their approach. "This could be our chance to capture one of their leaders and get the answers we need," Thorne said, his eyes glinting with determination. Zilara nodded. "We must act swiftly. A small, skilled team will have the best chance of success." They assembled a strike team comprising the best soldiers from both species. Thorne led the mission, accompanied by Rodriguez and a group of elite Zentari warriors. They boarded a sleek Zentari stealth vessel, designed for rapid, undetectable movement. As they approached the abandoned colony, the tension in the ship was palpable. Thorne briefed the team one last time. "Our primary objective is to capture the commander alive. Stay focused, and we'll get through this." The stealth vessel landed silently on the outskirts of the colony. The team moved with precision, their modified firearms at the ready. The landscape was eerie and quiet, remnants of the colony's structures casting long shadows in the fading light. They advanced cautiously, their eyes scanning for any signs of the enemy. Suddenly, Rodriguez's datapad beeped softly. She had detected the energy signature of the enemy commander's shield. "He's close," she whispered. Thorne signaled for the team to split into two groups to surround the target. They moved with practiced coordination, converging on the source of the signal. As they closed in, they spotted the enemy commander, a tall, imposing figure surrounded by a group of soldiers, their insectoid forms blending with the shadows. Thorne gave the signal, and the team sprang into action. Gunfire erupted as they engaged the enemy forces, the modified bullets tearing through the alien shields with ease. The invader commander, realizing the threat, tried to retreat, but Thorne and his team were relentless. In a daring move, Thorne lunged forward, using his firearm to disable the commander's shield. The Zentari warriors closed in, subduing the commander with their advanced restraints. The skirmish ended as quickly as it had begun, the enemy forces either neutralized or in full retreat. With their prize in tow, the team returned to the stealth vessel. Rodriguez quickly secured the commander's weapon and equipment, eager to analyze them. Thorn and the Zentari warriors maintained a vigilant watch over their captive, knowing the importance of what they had just achieved. Back on the Star Cruiser, the commander was placed in a high-security cell. Zilara and Thorn interrogated the prisoner, their combined authority and determination proving formidable. The alien commander, though initially defiant, eventually began to speak. "We were once human," the commander admitted, his voice a low hiss. "Long ago we were exiled from Earth, left to wander the stars. Our ancestors found a way to survive, evolving and adapting to the harsh conditions of deep space. We have returned to claim what we believe is rightfully ours." Rodriguez's eyes widened as she listened. The pieces of the puzzle were falling into place. The invaders were descendants of an ancient human faction, their technology a twisted evolution of Earth's past innovations. This revelation sent shockwaves through the Alliance. Zilara's expression was grave. "Your claims of rightful ownership do not justify your actions. We will defend our homes and our people against your aggression." Thorn leaned forward, his voice steady but firm. "Tell us everything about your technology and your plans. If there's any chance for peace, we need to understand each other." The commander, seeing no other option, began to divulge the secrets of their technology and their motivations. The Alliance now had valuable intelligence that could help turn the tide of the war. As the days turned into weeks, the newfound knowledge allowed the Alliance to make strategic advancements. They developed countermeasures against the invaders' technology, bolstered their defenses, and prepared for the battles ahead. The combined forces of humanity and the Zentari, armed with the enhanced firearms and a deeper understanding of their enemy, stood ready to face whatever came next. The ancient gun, once a relic of a forgotten past, had become the key to a united future. In the face of a shared threat, new allies had emerged, bound by a common purpose. The journey was far from over, but the Alliance was stronger than ever, fueled by the knowledge that even the most unlikely tools could change the course of history. The revelation that the invaders were descendants of an ancient human faction added a new layer of urgency to the Alliance's efforts. Armed with the intelligence gleaned from the captured commander, the combined forces of humanity and the Zentari prepared for the next phase of the conflict. The enemy, now understood to be twisted remnants of humanity's own past, were determined and relentless. Captain Jarek Thorn and Dr. Elena Rodriguez worked closely with Ambassador Hilara and the Zentari scientists to implement the new countermeasures. The modified firearms had proven effective, but the Alliance needed a comprehensive strategy to repel the invaders once and for all. On the front lines, the atmosphere was tense but resolute. Soldiers trained tirelessly, honing their skills and learning to operate the enhanced weapons with precision. The Zentari's advanced technology combined with human ingenuity created a formidable defense. The alien invaders launched a massive assault on one of the core Zentari worlds, a lush and strategically vital planet named Althora. The skies above Althora filled with the invaders' ships, and the ground shook as their forces landed. Thorn, Rodriguez, and Zilara knew that this battle would be decisive. As the enemy forces advanced, the Alliance deployed their newly developed weapons and tactics. The modified firearms, now enhanced with energy disruptors and advanced targeting systems, wreaked havoc on the invaders' ranks. The combined forces fought with unparalleled coordination, their bond forged in the fires of necessity and trust. Thorn led a battalion of human and Zentari soldiers, his presence a beacon of determination. "Hold the line," he shouted over the roar of battle. "We fight for our future." Dr. Rodriguez, meanwhile, coordinated with the Zentari scientists from a mobile command center. She monitored the battle, providing real-time data and strategic insights. Her understanding of the invaders' technology proved invaluable, allowing the Alliance to adapt and counter the enemy's tactics. Despite their initial successes, the battle was brutal. The invaders fought with desperation, their desire to reclaim what they believed was their heritage driving them to ferocity. Casualties mounted on both sides, the cost of survival evident in every fallen soldier. In the midst of the chaos, a critical opportunity arose. The enemy's command ship, a massive vessel that coordinated their forces, had revealed itself. Thorn and Zilara knew that taking down this ship could turn the tide of the battle. "Prepare for a direct assault on the command ship," Thorn ordered, his voice filled with resolve. "We take that ship, and we break their hold on this planet." A select team of elite soldiers, including Thorn, Zilara, and a contingent of Zentari warriors, launched a daring assault on the command ship. The vessel's defenses were formidable, but the Alliance's combined firepower and tactical ingenuity allowed them to breach its hull. Inside the command ship, the fighting was intense. Thorn and Zilara led the charge, their coordinated attacks cutting through the enemy forces. They fought their way to the ship's bridge, determined to confront the enemy leader and end the threat once and for all. On the bridge, they encountered the alien commander, a towering figure exuding authority and malice. The final confrontation was fierce, but Thorn and Zilara's teamwork and determination prevailed. With a final, devastating blow, they incapacitated the commander and seized control of the ship. The capture of the command ship sent shockwaves through the invaders' ranks. Disorganized and leaderless, the enemy forces began to falter. The Alliance pressed their advantage, driving the invaders back and reclaiming Althora. As the dust settled and the battle's echoes faded, the Alliance stood victorious. The invaders had been repelled, their forces decimated, and their ambitions thwarted. The cost had been high, but the battle for survival had been won. The aftermath of the decisive battle on Althora marked the beginning of a new era for both humanity and the Zentari. The Alliance had not only survived but emerged stronger, their shared victory a testament to the power of cooperation and resilience. In the weeks that followed, efforts shifted from defense to rebuilding. The Alliance worked tirelessly to restore the ravaged Zentari worlds and strengthen their defenses against any future threats. The lessons learned from the conflict were invaluable, leading to advancements in technology and strategy that would benefit both species. Captain Yarrick Thorn and Dr. Elena Rodriguez were hailed as heroes, their leadership and expertise crucial to the Alliance's success. Thorn continued to serve as a military leader, his experience and tactical acumen guiding the ongoing efforts to secure the Alliance's territories. Rodriguez, meanwhile, returned to her archaeological work with a renewed sense of purpose, her contributions to the war effort forever changing her perspective on the past and its impact on the future. Ambassador Zilara, deeply respected by both her people and the humans, played a pivotal role in strengthening the bonds between the two civilizations. Her diplomatic skills and unwavering commitment to cooperation ensured that the Alliance would endure. A grand ceremony was held on Earth, attended by leaders from both humanity and the Zentari. The ancient firearm, once a symbol of a bygone era, was placed in a museum as a reminder of the past's unexpected influence on the present and future. It stood as a testament to the ingenuity and resilience of those who had come before, and those who had fought to protect their legacy. During the ceremony, Zilara addressed the assembled crowd. "Today, we celebrate not only our victory, but our unity. The challenges we faced have forged an unbreakable bond between our species. Together, we have proven that even in the face of the greatest adversity, we can overcome and thrive." Thorn and Rodriguez stood side by side, reflecting on the journey that had brought them to this moment. "Who would have thought that an ancient gun would lead us here?" Rodriguez mused, her eyes filled with pride and hope. Thorn smiled. "It just goes to show that sometimes the simplest things can make the biggest difference. It's a lesson we won't forget." As the ceremony continued, representatives from both species mingled, sharing stories and forging new friendships. The Alliance had created a foundation for a future where cooperation and mutual respect would guide their path forward. The threat of the invaders had been averted, but the Alliance knew that vigilance was essential. They remained committed to exploring the mysteries of the past and preparing for whatever challenges the future might hold. The legacy of the ancient firearm had become a symbol of their enduring spirit and determination. In the years that followed, humanity and the Zentari continued to work together, exploring new frontiers and pushing the boundaries of what was possible. The alliance's technological advancements led to unprecedented prosperity and peace, their combined efforts ensuring a bright future for both civilizations. The story of the ancient firearm and the unexpected alliance it had forged became a legend, told and retold across generations. It was a reminder that even the smallest artifacts could hold the key to the greatest of achievements, and that unity and cooperation were the true foundations of strength. As the sun set on a peaceful galaxy, the Alliance looked to the stars with hope and determination, ready to face whatever the future might bring. The new era had begun, and with it, the promise of a brighter tomorrow.